Denver is off to a rocky 2-2 start as they fight to keep their championship window with Nikola Jokic alive here. Our senior writer, Ramona Shelburne, joining us now. And Ramona has this great piece up on ESPN.com right now detailing the internal struggles of the Nuggets. And this quote was really telling from Michael Porter Jr., Ramona. It said, "If we don't win it all this year, we all know they might have to break it up." But the most important thing is, how does Nikola Jokic feel about all of this?
Well, he's one of those superstars who is very poised and essentially says, I'm just happy we have a chance to win every single year. He's like, you couldn't draw up a superstar any better than this, right? But he's also the guy who says when they're not shooting well, we're not a very good shooting team. And I think when Calvin Booth is a general manager there, and he has a philosophy of you pay the stars and then you play the young guys. And Michael Malone is playing the stars, but he's not playing the young guys. And of those stars, Jokic and Aaron Gordon are playing very well to start the season. Jamal Murray, who they just paid with a max extension, not playing very well. He's shooting less than 40% from the field, less than 35% from three. That's not what you're looking for a guy who you invested $200 million. And that was the guy. For Denver to be great, Jamal Murray has to be great. And I think they all understand this is a franchise that has never paid the luxury tax until they won a championship.
Right.
They paid it 3 straight years.
Right.
It's one thing to pay it when you win a title. It's another thing to pay it when you lose in the second round.
Right. And so you're kind of saying you're never going to hear Nikola Jokic maybe squawking as loud as other stars or subtweeting folks because he doesn't
The closest
even have
he comes
social media.
to rebelling is that beard.
Right. Exactly. Or maybe some of those comments he makes post-game. But it feels kind of crazy to ask this just 4 games into the season. What happens if they don't, if this continues, if they're not able to win and capitalize?
Well, listen, they have a team that is over the luxury tax or up against the second apron, so there's not that much that they can do. They had opportunities to go out and get Paul George this offseason, didn't want to talk about trading the young guys. They had an opportunity to do a sign-and trade for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with Dallas before they got Klay Thompson. Said no because they didn't want to add extra salary to it. So essentially they put themselves in a position where what they have has to perform.
Right.
Because otherwise, this is a team, I sat on this set last year and said, they could be a dynasty.
Right.
They could be a dynasty. And they've won one. Let's see if they can maximize Jokic's prime, which might just be a few more years left.
What's it that my mama used to always say? You've made your bed, now you have to lie in it.
Right.
That's the Denver Nuggets. Ramona Shelburne, thank you so very much.
Thanks, Malika.
Let's do a little top of the month, shall we? There you go. It's an honor. We're going to start with Top Slam and Jamma. We're going to show good Giannis. Let's do that. Posterizes right here.
Got a head of steam.
Nikola Vucevic.
Get out of the way.
You know who's had some of the best dunks, though, in this early season?
Who's that?
Brandon Miller. I mean, he's been high-flying.
Off the LeBron cut. That's what I call it. When you cut from
The
the
LeBron
wing.
cut.
Yeah,
I
the
like
LeBron
that.
cut.
Well, speaking of LeBron,
off the vert.
he throws down a hammer unlike anybody we've seen. Year 22.
Rears back.
All the way back. All right, how about top dribble drive here? You know we had to go to Steph Curry to check in on those handles, right? A little behind the back. Jelly.
Look, a lot of people talk about Kyrie Irving handle and being one of the best of all time, but Steph Curry is definitely in that conversation.
And little Euro step.
Goodness. He probably learned that this summer on Team USA.
And
He's
then
in the lab.
Jalen Green calling his own number here. Ooh.
H-Town stand up.
Houston's going to be interesting. Houston could be a problem,
I got
as
them
I say
making the
this year.
playoffs.
Last one, top razzle dazzle. How about this? We got to give love to the Cavaliers because Donovan Mitchell and his crew, I mean, they have been showing out. Darius Garland with the corner three.
That was a hell of a pass. Look, Darius Garland didn't have to dip right in the shooting pocket at that.
You got to make it when it's a pass like that.
That's it. The body control all across the board.
Hang in the air like that?
Yeah, he's back. And then, look at this little Luka dime. Oof.
Seemed like Luka give us one of them every 2 games.
Yeah.
Another one of those passes where you have to make it if you're the shooter. So we've looked at all of the moments and plays that's made the start of the season so special. But Ramona, if you were going to pick a surprise team, one that maybe we didn't see having the start that they've had, who would that be, good or bad?
Okay, I'm going to go Chicago Bulls.
Okay, I like it.
3-2. We all thought they were rebuilding. Guess who's first in the NBA in pace? Chicago. Billy Donovan was saying the other night, we may not have the most talent out there, but we are going to run and we're going to come back. They've already come back from 20 points down on Memphis.
Yep.
They came back from 20 down on Orlando the other night. And they're doing this all with Josh Giddey shooting threes. Did you see any of that coming?
Certainly not. And it was great to see Lonzo Ball, of course, back on the floor as well.
I'm going to stay in the Eastern Conference, and I'm going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Coaching change, thought it was going to take time to adjust. They're 5-0 right now. The bigs are playing well. Both of those guys are, averaging monster double-doubles, top 10 in blocks. Donovan Mitchell, he looks happy. Darius Garland is finding his way for us playing alongside Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I love this energy from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, and by the way, they got a great leader on the bench, Tristan Thompson. Shout out Double T.
Our guy, T-Tops.
You always get him in there.
And there's a world in which Cleveland gets off to it. I don't want to get ahead of myself to an 8-0 start here. They play the Orlando Magic without Paolo Banchero and then back-to-back games against the Milwaukee Bucks, who have certainly been struggling here. So the Cavs, their train is going to just keep right on rolling. Perk, I'm looking back to you. That's the team that maybe's had the most surprising start. What about the individual player?
It's Chet Holmgren. I got to continue to show love to the bigs, right? Right around 24 points, 13 rebounds, almost 4 blocks a game. Has been a monster. Ramona, I gave him a nickname.
Oh, what is it?
The White KG. Yeah, the white version of Kevin Garnett. He's been dominating, and he's been doing it within the system offensively, not going outside of his body, being the anchor on the defensive side of things for that Oklahoma City team, and they're undefeated, and the important part of it is Chet Holmgren.
All right, so when the Suns drafted Ryan Dunn, we heard he was a 3-and-D guy without a lot of three. Okay? He's actually hitting threes now.
Yeah.
He's hitting 44% on the year.
I actually like that.
And in Phoenix, they drafted him. This is a development project. Give it time.
Right.
This is the best we could do with our draft pick. He's been great for them. He was great last night against the Clippers.
Yeah, the Phoenix Suns have had a really interesting start to this year. It's Perk. It's what you've been calling about. It's exactly what you've wanted to see here from Phoenix. All right, one more for you. Ramona, the player with the best start. Maybe not most surprising, but best.
It's the MVP. It's Nikola Jokic. And I think if you're Denver, you're like, I'm glad he's playing well, but we don't really want him to play this much and this hard. He has to do everything just for them to get to overtime against the Nets and to beat the Toronto Raptors. He's been putting up so much just for them to win these 2 games.
I'm only making the face because Perk and I were picking earlier who's going to have more points in the game tonight. And he said Ant, and I said Jokic. And as Ramona is saying this, I'm like, yeah, Ramona, keep
well,
going.
They don't have Cat to defend him now, so.
Right, and he loves that matchup with Rudy Gobert.